Good, bright and sunny morning. Today is Thursday, April 13th, and I'm doing a progress video today because I wanted you to see how fast gardens can come along. That right there is a zucchini, and the plants are loaded with baby zucchinis. There's another plant right down here. See that little guy? Right there. There's a blossom next to it. There's some blossoms that haven't opened up yet. Here's another. Obviously not big enough to pick yet, but I wanted to show you guys that we are getting close. There's one back there. More blossoms. There's another plant with a zucchini right there. So we are well on our way, everybody. This one's got a baby one right there, right behind the flower. Let's see if I can get some sunlight on that. There we go. So just a couple weeks after a storm came through and all these plants were buried, you know, the surrounding, I guess you could say perimeter leaves. They were buried in the dirt. We washed them off, and here they are, thanking us with wonderful, healthy, organic produce. So let's hope that the blessings keep coming our way, guys. This one's loaded with flowers and blossoms, and there's a zucchini in the bottom there. I can't get to it without breaking a stem, though. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got. Back here I've planted cherry tomatoes and basil. They're not up yet. They've only been in the ground for a couple of days. Back here we've got patty pan squash. It's like a little squash. It's white and it looks like a little UFO. So let's hope that those sprout pretty soon. Right here I've got hypertendril peas that are not for microgreens, and if you notice, I've planted them kind of far apart. There's one there, and the next one's over there. When you plant for microgreens, you can plant them right next to each other because you're going to take them out of the ground. Well, you're going to cut them at ground level when they get to about 4 to 6 inches. So these are actually going to grow, and we're going to have the pods. All right, back here, we've got green beans, that whole row of green beans. And I've actually got green beans all over the place because everybody seems to like green beans. And I never seem to have enough, even if it's just for our family. This next row here are carrots. Now, if it gets too hot for the carrots might turn out a little bitter. They're still usable. If they're too bitter, obviously I use them for livestock. But I'm going to go ahead and grow them, even though it seems to be pretty hot already, because I like doing experiments like that. So we'll see what happens. Kale is still doing good. The onions that are planted with them doing awesome. I also planted a row of beans on the other side of this hill. And we've got some sunflowers coming up. The rain kind of washed some of the seeds away, but that's all right. It was just for funsies anyway. Then we've got 2 rows of onions right here. They're red sweet and white sweet. And then of course we've got our zucchini in this row. We've got our Long Island pumpkin in this row. And if the deer don't get to these before we can get our fence up, these are the best pumpkins you're ever going to taste. They make a really smooth puree for pumpkin pie and breads and soup and everything. They're like a really soft-fleshed pumpkin. So I think you'll be very happy with that. Over here, these last 2 rows are a mixture of things that I had left over plus some butternut squash. So zucchini, pumpkin, butternut squash, I think some spaghetti squash too. I like to do this kind of stuff for funsies as well because it's such a surprise when a plant that looks like the same as those plants over there come up with something like a spaghetti squash. I just think it's fun. Over here, we've got our radishes, and they're coming along beautifully. And then down here, we have more green beans, and then a teeny tiny row of beets. I know not a lot of people like beets, so I don't plant as much, but I'll be doing another row, and then we'll probably have beets 1 or 2 weeks, and then it'll be done, because it's a root crop, so once you pull it, it doesn't grow anymore. And then we've got our potatoes, and I'm doing container potatoes to keep control of nematodes, which will kill your potatoes. And as you can tell, right there, they are already growing. Right there, and right there. Now, potatoes are a summer-long crop. They take between 90 and 110 days. So I don't know that, they'll be part of any sharing that we've got going on. Might take too long. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll just do new potatoes. And then, of course, in between, we've got the hypertendral peas for the microgreens that are growing in between the squash. And I do that because the squash is small enough now that the sun can still get to the peas. I could probably cut these peas 2 or 3 times before the squash gets too big. In fact, over here, I did not cut these when I was supposed to. They're a little bit bigger, which is okay. The whole plant is edible. So I'm going to cut these. But I wanted to see just how much the squash would overshadow them, and really, as you can tell, they don't overshadow them too much, and these squash are pretty big already. So everything's doing really, really well. If you look past the chicken pen over here. Hey guys. Hi guys. If you can see where we've tilled, that is where the watermelon are going in. So hopefully we'll have the deer fencing up really soon here. Got some issues that I have to deal with. Sometimes things go a little slow when it's something more complicated, but we do what we can, and I feel like things are going pretty good. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing and keep planting. That's kind of my motto anyway, just plant. Just get out there, plant some seeds, see what happens. All right, guys, I hope that you're having a great day and enjoy the progress pictures. Good morning. It is Sunday, January 22nd, 2017. Many of us have woken up to tornado warnings, tornado watches, wind warnings, and even tornado damage down here in the southern states. We're in central Florida. The worst of ours is supposed to hit this afternoon into the evening. Not really looking forward to that. Thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Mississippi and Georgia, where reports of over 20 tornadoes have touched down and caused damage, and I guess 4 lives lost in Mississippi. So we're thinking of those people today. Also out here looking at my garden, I know that we have a 90% chance of rain today. Considering that I only have 1 sprinkler and I'm using it over there, I'm going to go ahead and throw down some cover crop soil builder. It's peas and oats. It's not a whole lot, just 1 little package. Why am I throwing it into the sand? Well, first of all, like I said, it's going to rain. Second of all, I'm kind of a just plant kind of person. I don't care that it's just sand. I don't care that there's not a lot of compost in here just yet. Over there where you can see a little more grass that has grown, there's a lot of compost over there. There's also a lot of sand spurs that came up, and I'm still working on that. This garden is kind of a slow work in progress, and that's okay. I didn't actually expect it to be magical till after the first couple of years. So anyway, all I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to kick up some dirt like that with my boot and put down these peas and oats. See if I can get a good shot of it there. And let the rain take care of it. Seriously, that's all that you need to do. Just start planting. Just throw the seeds out. I actually have a whole tray of mason jars. I think they're 2 or 3 cup mason jars. There's probably 15 or 18 of them, something like that, and they're full of seeds from 2010. I'm going to mix up those seeds, and I'm going to throw them out here too. Because guess what? That's what nature does. Nature does not say, oh look, a plot of really, really good soil, let's throw some seeds down there. No. Nature throws the seeds wherever it likes, and guess what? It grows. So that's what I'm going to do, even if I throw compost or wood chips or whatever down on this later on. That's what's going to happen. And hopefully everybody will stick with me, and you will see that this sand turns into a nice, beautiful garden that gives us lots of food to eat.